Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have updates on two of the, I guess you could call them more colorful capital terrorists. So you guys know what that means. It's time for a Plants and Politics episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So first up is Pauline Bauer. Now, I talked about Bauer last week, so you guys will probably remember her. Bauer is taking some bad internet advice. She's trying to represent herself in court using a very failed, flawed, sovereign citizen type of defense. And in a new court filing, she's continued down this doomed path. And it's pretty hilarious. In Bauer's filing, she described herself as, quote, "I, me, Pauline Bauer, the living soul, a creation of God." And she demands in this filing that the court, quote, "drop all charges against my vessel." I'm not making that up. It literally says, "drop all charges against my vessel," in capital letters, Pauline Bauer, and dismiss the case. So I guess they're trying to put her vessel in jail. I don't know. But Bauer explained that the case should be dismissed because of, quote, "inconsistencies with due process protections, with the Due Process Protections Act and obligations not met under the Brady Rule." Now, of course, she doesn't explain any of this. She doesn't explain what those inconsistencies are or, obligational failures might be. And creation of God, really? I mean, let's remember who this woman is. This is the woman who got up in officers' faces and screamed at them and said, quote, "bring Nancy Pelosi out here now. We want to hang that fucking bitch." Creation of God. Okay. So I will keep you posted on this. That was the most recent lunacy from Ms. Bauer. And I just find it hilarious that MAGA supporters are still out there trying to say that the people who broke into the Capitol and the people who caused all of this chaos on January 6th and did all the damage and everything were leftists, were Antifa or BLM. When you have people like this literally in court saying, "Okay, yeah, I did it, but you can't prosecute me." So next up is Brandon Fellows. Fellows, as you may recall, he's a 27-year-old New York man. He lives or lived in a converted school bus, and he boasted about how his Bumble dating app just blew up after he took part in the January 6th domestic terrorist attack, or maybe it was after he was arrested. I don't remember. But last I shared with you guys, he appeared to be trying to intimidate his probation officer and others. So he was doing things like contacting his probation officer's mother at her home. If you guys remember, if you've been watching the show for a while, he called his probation officer's mother and asked for the probation officer and said like 2 times, "I just want to make sure, is this where she lives? Is this her home?" Well, I have a couple of updates to share with you in regard to Mr. Fellows. The first is that he was apparently offered a plea deal. Prosecutors agreed to drop all charges if Fellows agreed to plead guilty to 1 felony count of obstruction of Congress. Now, based on sentencing guidelines, which are far lower than what the law writes, what the law dictates, this would put him behind bars between 15 to 21 months only. But his attorneys are saying, on top of that, prosecutors are asking the judge to include a terrorism enhancement. So that would increase his jail time. And so it doesn't appear that Fellows is going to go for that plea agreement, which makes me laugh because This is the guy also who was such a smartass about going to prison. He was the guy who said that, oh, I'll have a better life in prison than what I have right now. So, I thank them. I thank the prosecutors. They're doing me a favor, is what he said. So why is he fighting it? Why now is he saying, oh no, this plea agreement isn't good enough? If your life's going to be better in prison, just go. What's the deal? Now he's going to punk out. So anyway, funny how these MAGA terrorists have big mouths and, they're all so arrogant until they're actually faced with the reality of losing their freedom for real, not the freedom they cry about losing under Democrats. Oh, and they're going to lose their guns when they get these felony charges. So, yeah. But now here's the second update. And this one's awesome because he's just been locked up again. So after considering his actions following January 6th, the judge said, quote, I can no longer give the defendant the benefit of the doubt. I've tried, but we are where we are. And remember, this wasn't the first time that the prosecutors asked to put him back in prison. He has run afoul of his release conditions numerous times. This is like the second or third time that they've requested that the judge remand him back to prison until his trial. So he will stay there until his trial or until he takes a plea agreement, because he just keeps pushing the envelope. He clearly doesn't think that the rules apply to him, which seems to be a theme. Seems to be a theme with these capital terrorists and why they were there in the first place. They obviously thought the rules and the laws don't apply to them and that they wouldn't get in trouble for January 6th. So at least this one now is going to be off the streets for at least a while. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear more in either of these cases. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please become a friend or a supporter of the show down below in the description box. We can hang out every month together if you become a friend. At the very least, please like, share, and subscribe. Take care. I'll talk to you guys soon.